This is Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Bumblebee, uh, the IDW comic book series of figures. The figure is part of Wave 5 of the Transformers Generations with the Fall of Cybertron type of motif, 2013. Okay, let's put them off to the side first. Here is the packaging. It's the same grid packaging as Fall of Cybertron figures, but it's got the thrilling 30th anniversary logo. Yeah. Stinger blasters. And it comes with a really nice comic book from IDW. It's a reprint of Spotlight Bumblebee, I think. Show you some of the comic book art. Very nice. I haven't actually gone to collecting this comic book because it's very pricey here in Manila. It's about $6, a little over $6. I mean, that's too much. I'm already collecting too much Marvel comics as it is. Anyway, Bumblebee looks so phenomenal. Looks so great with the artwork in this comic book, as you can see, but the figure, folks, I just don't get it. This is probably the weakest figure of the wave, hands down, and the only way I can recommend this is if your kid is a big Bumblebee fan, or you yourself are a big Bumblebee fan and you've got to have all the Bumblebees in the world. But if you're just the casual collector, or even if you're if you're just into the old, the non-movie, non-cartoon Transformers, I don't know. This is not for you. I cannot recommend this figure full on, simply because of the fact that it looks like it's too much of a kid's toy. Well, toys are really for kids, but for collectors, I know there are a lot of toy collectors out there. This is very hard to justify at the current retail price, even if the retail price is considerably lower than Beast Hunters figures and Prime figures and whatnot. The figure feels like a knockoff. I mean, the only plastic that feels okay is this metallic flake-ish plastic, yellow plastic he has on his shoulders, bumper, and some parts of the top of the car. But everything else, this one, the doors are okay, but the hinges on the doors, the body, the legs, the arms, they just feel like knockoff plastic, and it feels very light. The gun is the Singer's gun is a nice weapon accessory, except that the paint just does not match the yellow for some reason. Figure has fake chest, fake lights right there, as you can see. And the head is just way too small for me. It should have been a bigger head, but I think because of transformation, they need to be able to squeeze a much smaller head when you transform him. When you raise this up, now I'll show you in a bit. Maybe I can. Right there, that's the first step of one of the first steps of transformation. They needed a smaller head so they could squeeze it in. Otherwise, a big head would just ram into it. And anyway. So that's my thing about the figure in robot mode. It's the paint apps. Some of the paint apps are pretty cool, but there's a lot of quality issues here. I mean, that's expected from Hasbro, but to give such a flimsy figure, I mean, it's Bumblebee, right? I mean, it's another Bumblebee. They had a chance. They had an absolute phenomenal chance to make a wonderful IDW Bumblebee, and I think they blew it on this one. For size comparison, let me just get this thing over and done with. I mean, a lot of you are going to be asking. He's a little bit tall. He's tall. I think he's the tallest of all four figures: Trail Cutter, Orion Pax, and Megatron. He's the tallest because maybe of transformation. But even if he's tall, as you can see, he's very thin from the side. He's still just about the size of RID Bumblebee. And this is the Battle Blade Bumblebee from the movie line. Revenge of the Fallen, Hunt for the Decepticons movie line. Yeah. I mean, Hasbro has fallen so far from this. I think was the golden age of their Transformers. I don't know if they can ever go back to the Revenge of the Fallen, Hunt for the Decepticons type of quality. I mean, animated was pretty good. I mean, those were like they were big deluxes. They had a lot of plastic, good quality of plastic. But comparing what has happened from this to this to this, I don't know, folks. Hasbro has really been sticking it to us, and I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to do these comic book characters, but I just think it could have been better. I mean, this one, there's a lot of. I gave this figure a lot of praises, as much as this one, but with this figure, man, I don't know. I'm hoping the Gold Bug repaint makes it look a little bit better, but we'll see. Articulations got a swivel neck, swivel waist, ball jointed, ball hinge shoulders, ball hinge wrists. No, ball hinge elbows, sorry. No, I was thinking about wrist. No wrist swivel, ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, ratcheting hinge knee, ratcheting elbow joint, and a ball jointed ankle that goes up and down as well because of transformation. So yeah, not the best Bumblebee in the world, but if you're a big Bumblebee fan, maybe this one is for you. So, transform him. It's a little bit tricky because the clearances are very small, especially when you're trying to tab in all the pieces, all the panels. So, if you're giving this to your kid, you might want to assist him in the first transformation until he or she can do it a lot better. You can split the weapons. You can hold them individually, or should be able to tag on here as well, so or here in car mode. We'll put that there first. So transform him. You basically have, I mean, the instructions are okay. They give a decent description of transforming this guy. It's a very nice description, but you can sort of figure out how to transform him once you've done step one of raising the torso up. Then everything is easy to figure out. The torso going up and down might be a little bit tricky to figure out for those who are new to the Transformers generations and whatnot. So, okay, there. Now this one, the instructions just say to move it up like that. It's not to move the feet. Now it's very easy for maybe your kid or whoever, maybe even you, to mistake it as this, but it's actually this. Then you snap on like that. Kind of tricky, maybe, at least, I don't know, maybe for me, I mean not for you. But this one is again another tricky bit. I could not fit this thing for the longest time, and then I noticed that there was sort of like a hook-ish tab that you had to do that to connect it, and do the same with this one. Come on. Alright, and then lastly, like a Generation 1 toy, go ahead and fold it like that. See, as I said, the clearances are very tight, very small. And this one, tabbing it is as hard as untabbing it. And I can tell you that, folks, because when you untab it, you have to do that. And if you want to preserve the toy, you're going to educate your kids on how to transform it properly without them breaking any of the plastic. I was actually surprised that the plastics holding this type of, the quality of this plastic is holding. I was already expecting some of them to have stress marks as I was transforming them, but apparently they had no stress marks. Paint issue. What can you do? Oh, so the only thing working for this figure for me is his alt mode. And I'm not sure I'm going to keep him in robot mode, but definitely I'd like to keep him in alt mode. It's just, space restrictions and whatnot would have me transform him back into his robot mode just to save on space. But the silhouette, the design, the sculpt of the alt mode is what saves this figure, in my opinion. You can put this here, and it'll still look cool. I mean, he's got that sort of stealth mode in the movie stealth mode or whatever. So he's okay. But again, the cheapo plastic is just sticking out too much, and it's making the really nice plastic look cheap for some reason. The off-colored yellow paint, more of it. Yeah, I mean, it's just making it everything. The whole ensemble is just looking to be very cheap. I mean, I can see where they tried to do a lot of that. I don't know if you can see it. It reminds me of Sideswipe, the classics or Universe Sideswipe. It had that really flake, metallic, glossy look to it. The red, shiny, metallic, not metallic. It had flake on it, and it was really nice. And they were trying to sort of replicate that with the yellow. It worked in some areas, but because of the cheapo yellow bits here and there, the whole ensemble just looking very cheap and knockoff-ish. So yeah, you can see a lot of gaps in there, and those fake, the fake taillights are just, I don't know if they're taillights or not. I think they look like taillights. They're just showing off. I mean, compared to what he should have looked like in the comic book, it's just, yeah. Anyway, let's just get this thing over with. Here's the size comparison. As I've mentioned, you know, plastic, the quality of plastic has deteriorated for it. This one is quality plastic. As you can see, very nice, thick, heavy plastic. And this was a deluxe back in the day, but 5 years ago. This is how deluxes were, and now in 2007 they were like this. This is movie one Bumblebee, Walmart exclusive, and then now they come to this. So what can you do? So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video review. If you did, please click the thumbs up icon on the bottom. Follow me on Twitter for my latest toy purchases, Instagram for my toy sightings here in Manila. Check out my channel on YouTube, Chefatron. That's where I post my reviews. The FX Trans channel is just going to be for hauls, vlogs, and other miscellaneous videos. But the toy reviews, the action figure reviews, and whatnot are going to be on my Chefatron channel. So if you're subscribed to both of my channels, FX Trans and Chefatron, thank you very much. If you're not, then you might want to check out one or the other channel. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this review, and this has been the Transformers Generations IDW Bumblebee Deluxe Class. Thanks for watching.